Love cell phones.
Good morning. It's a Sunday morning, but we're recording on Saturday. And I know we didn't do the original intro, but this is JT West, and I just want to hurry up and get into it because it's probably been 15, 20 years since I've seen you.
Close. Yeah. I think last time we worked the show together was '06.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, 18
Yeah.
years ago. So, yeah. So, man, so we usually start off with a little how you got started, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll get up to how you ended up in Alaska of all places.
Well, I started off down there in West Memphis, Arkansas in 2000. Um, Trained originally under Tiger Williams and Johnny Morton,
Oh, I know all
and
about those guys.
yep, was with them for a little while. And once I got done with their original training, it ended up sending me. I ended up over there in Osceola with you guys. They're at Mid
Yeah,
Southern
y'all came
Championship
in.
Wrestling.
Yeah, I
So
remember y'all came in. Uh, I still see Daniel around every once in a while.
yeah, he'll pop up every now and then with me. He called me one day and he was like, "Hey, I'm going to Osceola. I need a tag partner." So I was like, things had went a little awry with Tiger and them. That's a different story.
Right.
But I was like, all right, I'll slide in and check it out. And so I rolled up in there and had probably the world's most generic gear, a red singlet and black long tights. Think we all had that at some point, the high
I
spots
remember
gear.
that. I remember that.
So come out and luckily enough, I took a good enough ass whooping for Big Daddy to invite me back in, and it just kind of took off from there.
Yeah, yeah, I remember the little red top and the long black tights, and was pretty good worker. Pretty good for somebody
It
in your
was. I
sport.
appreciate it. I figured if nothing else, I could take a good butt kicking. So
I think we
get out there
all
and make
have
people hate me for
adapted to
that.
do that. I think we all have adapted to doing that, man. So, so you stayed down here in Arkansas till I guess I know '06.
Yeah,
I became a police officer and wasn't in it as much. So I know you ended up teaming up with Johnny Morton.
yep. Me and Johnny ran the roads for about a year and a half, 2 years together. We got to do some work a lot down the Mid South area, Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas. Branched out a little bit in a couple other places, and ended up going back singles in about '07, and just traveled around, Midwest, down south, little way in there until oh God, well we got here in February of 2012 is when we moved up to Alaska, and I've been up here ever since.
Okay, so what caused the move to Alaska? Is one question.
So my wife is from up here. Um, and our youngest kid had some medical issues, so we had to get him moved somewhere where it wasn't real humid. And obviously, we all know how bad the South is with that humidity level. So we had to get him out of there. So it's pretty much what brought us up this way.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that. So what's the temperature like? I mean, what's the hottest it'll normally get? 70s.
So on average, normally it gets mid to high 70s in our summertime, which is about 2 weeks out of the year. So Yeah, I mean, like
You
right
know,
now, I
it's just
think
a
it's 48 degrees outside, and we're running around in shorts and t-shirts.
oh wow.
Yeah,
Now you was telling me right before we got on the time of day. It's 10. It was what you said 10 o'clock right now,
yeah, it's 10 a.m. right now,
and
and that's
it's looked the same way at 10 p.m. last night.
yep, the exact same way.
Did it ever get dark?
It does. So it's we don't have you probably heard of the 6 months of light, 6 months of dark.
Yeah.
So during the summertime, it runs in that 6 months of light where it's just light almost all day. Then you reverse it around during the winter time and it gets to, I think it's around 22, 23 hours of darkness. Yeah.
I wouldn't get nothing done then.
No, that's it. I always tell people it's tougher in the daylight because you can't turn the sun off.
Right. Yeah. So how was that for you to get uh used to?
I'm a part of it. I'm still getting used to, believe it or not. The first time I say the first time we were up here, first time I experienced the timeline like that. I had just gotten off of about a 22-hour shift at the job I was working, and got off at midnight. Was supposed to be back at noon the next day. I go home, go to sleep, wake up. It's 1:15. So I get up, I'm freaking out. It's still pitch black out. I'm literally running out the door, pulling my pants up, get to the office, run in there, and I'm like, oh, guys, I'm sorry, I'm late. I didn't mean to. They're all looking at me. I literally left an hour before.
Oh wow.
I went home and somehow or another power nap for an hour, woke up, and thought I was late. Because it literally looked the exact same outside. It was crazy.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
they got a good kick out of it.
Let's get the nooks and cranny of the show. Let's talk about wrestling.
All right.
So, what year did you start 907 Wrestling?
So 907, we started in July of 2019.
Okay.
And I worked with another company I've worked with different companies from 2012 up. We actually ran one called NFWA 2013 through 2015. Fire came through, took out the building we were in, and rained everything gone. So I just worked with some more local guys that I'd worked with for a little while until we opened up 907. Had I think maybe two guys that were already trained up here, so we had to train them from scratch. So when we were getting ready to have our first show, the pandemic shut us down 2 days before the show.
So how was the pandemic up there?
It depends on who you ask, really. It hit us just as hard as it hit everywhere else. Like everything was shut down. State offices were working from homes. Kids, of course, homeschooling through Zoom and all that. The way of life is a lot slower up here.
Right.
You know, it's not. I equate it to like if it's a large Lepanto. if if
Oh, Lepanto.
if Lepanto had some big ass buildings, it would be that. So, but so it shut everything down. Obviously, it closed us down because we were considered a gym. However, the place we were training in was a building behind a friend of mine's house that used to be a taxidermy shop.
Right.
So because it was on his residence property, we were able to continue to train some if we wanted to because it was considered a residence, not a commercial. So off and on, the guys, if they were feeling okay, everybody, trained under a mask, clear tests. But we continued to train up here and push through that. So did that, and then we were finally able to have our first show on June 5th of 2021 in Anchorage. But the whole state didn't shut down. Some of the other smaller areas kept running full speed ahead, like nothing was happening.
Oh wow!
They were like, we weren't allowed to do shows in Anchorage, but we could drive 45 minutes away to a place called Wasilla and run shows. And we ran maybe 11 shows during the pandemic.
How did that go?
Well, the first one we did, there was about 450 people there. Everybody was coming from all over the place. Of course, we got a lot smaller population. So, 400 or 500 people showing up at a show here is insane. But the shows went well. We were flying guys in. We've had quite a number of people come up here and run shows. The one big one we had Tommy Dreamer, Sammy Callahan, Shane Douglas. Well, we had Colt Cabana, Swaggle. We had several of the AEW guys that have been coming up here a lot. So, but crowd come in and saw, crowd come in, hung out and everything. It was fun. The shows were good. It was a little weird because you're like, am I going to die tomorrow or are we going to be okay? So ultimately, we were all okay for the most part.
So is wrestling a big thing up in Alaska, or?
So we're trying to make it that way.
Okay.
Being here, there's been several companies that have tried to run up here, and for various reasons, they just didn't work out. Right now we're running, and it's really super. We're the most active Alaska's ever right now.
Right.
So we just got done running the Alaska Airlines Arena, which is a 5,000 person arena.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go over that because I saw that and I was wanting to talk to you about it, but then when I realized I was a day late.
Oh yeah, man, I've been a day late and $1 short through all of this, so don't feel bad. But yeah, that's a big deal. The show was good. The show was good. We didn't, like normal, you're promoting. I partnered with a guy named Kevin Matthews, who's they used to wrestle as KM on TNA Impact, or whatever it is they're calling themselves nowadays. Worked with, I partner up with him. They'll come up once or twice a year, and we do, kind of what would be our version of WrestleMania. But they had a great show. The crowd was into it. We had maybe 500-600 people show up, somewhere around there. But it's most people still don't realize that wrestling is going on. It's kind of weird because they've never really had it steady. Like back down south, you throw a rock in any direction, you're hitting a wrestling thing.
Yeah,
up here, it's still practically a virgin territory.
Right.
So I was talking with a lady the other day who's a huge wrestling fan from Anchorage and didn't know we had wrestling because she hasn't Googled it at all, hadn't looked for it.
Right.
So if you don't look for it unless you happen to run across and see somebody wearing one of these shirts, quick plug. But so they unless you see somebody doing it, you don't really think about it.
Right.
which is kind of odd because high school wrestling is huge up here.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's, we're trying to build it. It's a slow build. We've got between 125 and 150 people that show up to each of our shows twice a month. So it's there for the longest time. We were just running once a month. So we're trying to build it. Because of the geographical location, we can't trade talent out a whole lot. It's a $800 plane ticket every time somebody wants to come up. It's not like you can just drive 30 minutes to the next town.
Right.
So it's if we do too much, it'll oversaturate the place. So we're kind of, we're slow building, trying to get it bigger. But I'm really proud of the kids up here. They're doing a super great job. We had several of them that did that show at the Alaska Airlines Center with a lot of, TV talent, and we had several guys that kind of, I feel, really held the own there.
So when did y'all open the school? Because I know when we got to talking right off before we got on here, you said you was at school and you couldn't hear nothing, so you was gonna go out to your car.
Oh yeah.
So when did you start the school? When did the school start? And who does the training and stuff like that?
So the school here, we opened this particular one up in September of 21. And so we opened it up there. We trained 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday evenings, and then Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Kind of give different days so more people can get in and train. Because I was lucky enough to work with a lot of the guys down there that we worked with, I luckily retained a good amount of stuff, so I do most of the training.
Mm-hmm.
I have people come in and do a lot of guest seminars. We just did a week-long course with former Ring of Honor star Cheeseburger.
I've heard of him. I've seen him.
Yeah, he was up here. We've had Jay Lethal's been up here half a dozen times running multi-day seminars and stuff. So we lucked out with that, and then I've got a couple other guys I've got a young man from Vermont named Tyler Payne that joined us about 2 years ago. He's been in the business about, I think, 10 years now. He's our strength and conditioning coach, but he brings in a lot of that East Coast hard-hitting, high-paced style. He comes in and teaches a lot. He actually just came by a moment ago. So go ahead.
So I know I'm going on all around. I'm just going a little bit. So when you decide to do this big arena, I know it's going to take a lot. Yeah, crazy thought to do this big arena. But it's cool because I like to see. I'll say it, friends succeed, and a lot of people around here just ain't gonna do it. Just not gonna take a jump in and do a 5,000 seat arena.
That was a leap of faith there, bud.
So I mean, and I know things are got to be a lot more expensive up in Alaska because
yeah.
Well, a gallon of milk, what, $10?
Well, where we're at, gallon of milk's about $4.50. You get out into some of the villages and stuff, they get up to $10, $12 a gallon.
Okay, because I don't remember where I've heard it. I think I used to watch the show, the Alaska State Troopers.
Yep.
And that's how I ended up finding out about some of those prices, and I'm like, jeez.
It's nuts up here.
So take me to that point where y'all decided, hey, let's do this.
So we I run your regular monthly shows at a rec center. Typical kind of, we do one rec center show, one bar show. Kind of typical independent wrestling venues.
Right.
We've got a couple of spots here that hold 1,500 to 2,000 people.
Right.
That we would run once a year, just kind of a bigger show.
Right.
And we draw maybe about 500-600 people each time. And so my partner Kevin and I were riding around one day, and we're like, you know what, I wonder. Just wonder what would happen if we attempted. Never been done before. They've never done a pro wrestling show there before.
Right.
So apparently we're sitting there talking. I'm like, you know what? Let's sit down. And we looked at things. I'd like to say smart, but it wasn't smart. It was more like, we're going to make this happen. Kevin right now works for AEW.
Right.
And so we're always talking, and he's talking about all these venues that they go to, the smaller shows. Kind of like when WWE would come to like the Pyramid or to the Arkansas State University spot there they used to run on campus.
Yeah.
So we're like, that's a little smaller spot. And if they start running it, we didn't want somebody else to come in and go, hey, we're going to run the airlines. We wanted to have our names on that first thing.
Yeah, you don't want somebody just popping up and going, oh, I'm going to put on a wrestling show here.
And that was, honestly, that's pretty much what did it.
Wow.
So we're like, you know what? Let's talk to some guys. Let's see if he'd be willing to come up and do the show. And man, we had the Kingdom. We had Jay Lethal, Colt Cabana. Who else? We had former Ring of Honor guys. Dan Moff, Cheeseburger, LSG. Who else? Scotty Too Hottie came up. Lady Frost, Serena Deeb. So we had a good influx of talent.
I like seeing Lady Frost come on TV.
It was, she's absolutely amazing to watch her do the stuff she does in there. It's if she ever gets to put her best foot forward and they let her go, they're gonna strap a rocket to her. So, but with that, our combined guys, it was, like I said, we had a lot. I'll brag for a moment. I mentioned the Tyler Payne guy. My son actually wrestled in a triple threat match with Tyler Payne and Jay Lethal.
Oh wow!
So yeah, my son, they just turned 20 yesterday. He's been wrestling for us for a couple of years now. And to get to see that was something.
No pressure.
Right? Yeah. He's he went down and he's been through all this stuff, and they were like, yeah, let's give the kid a shot. And so I'm sitting back there, number one, nervous because I've got one of my students in there. More nervous because it's my son. Triple nervous because he's in there with probably one of the best in-ring technicians in the world.
Yeah, that's 20 years old, man. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, you better take every bit of advantage in this. And I was super proud of them. They went out there, and it was the match was a blast to watch. Jay is literally one of the professionals. So it was, to see him in action with greener guys was really neat.
Yeah, I've never heard a bad thing about Jay Lethal.
And I'll pull back the curtain. Literally one of the nicest guys I've ever met. We've done, I think, 5 seminars up here with him. And every time we're like, okay, Jay, we're going to do a 2-hour seminar. This is what we're going to do. He's like, okay, 7 hours later, we're like, hey, the doors are about to open. We got to go. He loves teaching the guys. He loves, passing stuff on. And not a whole lot better you can learn from out there.
I agree with you on that one. I definitely would agree. I wish they'd do more with him in AEW, but when you got a roster
Yeah,
full of people, I mean, you only can do so much.
that's it.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool, though. Well, I'm proud of your son, man. He's able to hold his own in there with two guys that
Yeah,
have been
if you get a chance, go check it out. I don't know if it's on their YouTube page, but I know they streamed it on their Facebook. It's still up there.
So what we streaming on? Because
So I know it's live on the Facebook,
so
on WrestlePro Alaska Facebook.
So when you do your okay, so let me ask you this: y'all do a live stream of your shows, right?
We do the WrestlePro shows, not the 907 shows.
Okay, well go ahead and promote all that stuff.
Okay.
Promote that.
So with the WrestlePro Alaska shows, you can stream all of them on a lot of them are on YouTube now on the WrestlePro Alaska page. You can link up there to WrestleProAlaska.com or look them up on Facebook or Instagram. For the local guys with 907 Pro Wrestling, we have our YouTube page. Every show we've ever done is on the 907 Pro Wrestling YouTube. And we've not live streamed yet. We're also on Caffeine TV app for anybody that has that. Most of our shows pop up on there now. So that's kind of where you can find everything on those.
Yeah, because you're definitely going to have to. I definitely want to start helping y'all out a little bit, getting a little thrown out there a little bit more, and
I appreciate that. Thank you.
To jump up on an app to watch y'all show, hey, every little bit helps. And dude, I mean, I know we're forever and apart. Little old Arkansas down here, and you up there in the Great White North, and
right.
And y'all don't know if y'all want to stay awake or go to sleep for 6 months. And
oh man, I was talking with one of my guys this morning. He's doing the same thing I am. Like we'll wake up about 4 a.m. and the sun's blowing through your window. So you think it's time to get up and you look at your phone and it's 4:05 a.m. You're like, nope. Lay down, wake up an hour later, same thing, sun's a little bit higher. So it really is.
You sent me some flyers, and I kind of want to go over it with you a little bit. And,
okay.
So this first one that you sent that I got from you was the 907 Pro Wrestling Championship. Calvin James. I guess that's your champion because he's got the title with him.
Yep.
Against how do you say that?
It's Orin West.
Orin West.
I'll nerd out a little bit, but he's actually named after a Final Fantasy character.
Okay.
That's his shoot middle name. But that's my boy.
That's yours.
Yeah.
Okay, well we gotta brag about him a little bit. Let's talk about him a little bit.
I obviously as a dad I'm super proud. To anytime last June I actually got the tag with him. I wanted to make sure I did that at least once before my body completely decided to give out.
Right.
But he's traveled all over. He's actually been down and wrestled around the Atlanta area. He was in Clarksville, Tennessee last year. Traveling with Jonathan Gresham doing the modern age grappling. Worked with him down there some. He's been over to New Jersey and wrestled with guys. it's one of those weird things. I feel odd because I'm the promoter, so there's always that. Is he there because he's your kid? No, he busts his ass day in and day out. And he's, like I said, the kid's been lucky enough. God, he tagged with Zach Gowen last year in a match. He One of his first matches was against a guy named Dan Moff, who was a Ring of Honor original and an absolute East Coast legend on the independent circuit. But he's traveled all over.
Posting these on our page. I plan on posting these on our page since I can't post them on here because I'm totally illiterate when it comes to working on computer stuff. So this is a 3-year anniversary show for 907.
Yep.
June 8th. Doors open at 3. Bell times at 4. Yep. Admissions $20. Kids 12 and under 5. And that's at the Arctic Rec Center, 4855. Hey, that's the last 4 digits of my cell phone number.
Well, see, the easy line on that.
Where's Alaska?
Well, see, the easy line on that.
Do what?
I said that's a easy way to remember it. Yeah. I said that's a easy way to remember it. Yeah.
Very. That'd be a very easy way. Definitely with Arctic Boulevard. That makes a lot of sense. Sonny Kiss will be there.
Yep.
I enjoyed watching Sonny Kiss.
She is an absolute phenomenal performer. Yes.
Yeah, the first time I saw him work was I guess it was AEW. And I've always enjoyed, yeah. Then you got a 7-man ladder match.
Yep. It is going to be the 907-man ladder match.
Okay, let's talk about it. Who's involved? What's on the line here?
So right now what's on the line are Midnight Sun Championship, which is in essence our Intercontinental Championship, is going to be hung up above the ring, and that's what they're going to be reaching for.
Do we know who the 7 participants are yet?
Technically, yes, but we haven't announced it. We're going to be announcing them over the next week.
Okay. I see how it's going to be. Well, let's talk. I think Friday night, May 24th. Yep. Days. Yep. Friday night, next Friday. Doors open at 6. Bell times at 7. That's a good time.
Yeah, it works well. That's our bar show.
Oh, it's a bar show.
Yeah, that particular one is a bar show. The one on the 24th.
Okay, yeah, I noticed it said 21 plus.
Yep, you'll see the Unleashed across the logo on the 907. So our family shows, we label 907 Pro Wrestling. Right. When we do the bar shows, we call it 907 Unleashed.
Oh.
It kind of lets us, bar shows, obviously we can get away with a little more, cut loose a little bit.
Right.
So
sometimes you gotta cut loose.
That's it. And we have a lot of fun with it. It's a smaller venue. It's maybe 150 people in there. But it's like I said, we try and get out there, have some fun. We had the first ever tag team street fight there last month. So that was like guys fighting all over the bar. It wasn't quite the Tupelo concession stand brawl, but it was fairly close.
Well, we always like a good street fight anyway.
There we go. I still got scars from some of them.
Hey, I got a question. Do y'all have do y'all have to be licensed up there, or
Nope.
no commission? Two
No
toes, one
commission.
commission.
But this is the funny thing. So the commission technically exists, but there's no employees. There's nobody hired in spot. It's there in paper only.
Well, that's a pretty good. Yeah, that works out really good.
Yeah, I don't argue. I do not miss commissions at all.
Well, we got rid of ours.
I heard. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, and don't make it difficult. Now we don't have to have a ambulance at the show now.
There you go. Yeah, we did luck out on that when we did the airlines arena show. You have to have medical staff on site because it's an arena.
Yeah.
But two of our wrestlers, one of them is Army medic, and the other one is EMT that works at one of the local companies.
Oh wow, that's good.
So because they were on site, we didn't have to bring anything in.
I'll give you a little story on. So I decided, me and my sister wanted me to run shows. So we did the first show here at the BC Lloyd building here in Paragould. And I was, oh, he didn't want to listen. We'll wait for him to sign back in. So, I guess he didn't want to talk for a second. He got embarrassed or something. I don't know.
Sorry about that. Gotta love cell phones.
Oh yeah. So we do the show up here, and I didn't. Man, I kind of got out of touch, man, about who was doing what around the area and stuff, and I didn't really know anybody really because it's changed so much around here in Arkansas. It went a lot away from the days of Frankie Tucker and Chris Hollywood and Moondog Spot and all those guys that were there. And so I had a buddy of mine. He's like, "Hey, I know a tag team that's trying to get going. If you want to use them." And I've known the guy since he was a little kid, and did some stuff with his dad. And so I was like, yeah, get him, have him holler at me. So I started pushing these guys as hard as I could, man. They ain't have probably not even a handful of matches together. One guy had started off in death matches in Alabama, and the other one started off as part of the Dirty Little Gang, and I didn't even know.
Oh damn!
So I'm like pushing these two guys as hard as I can be. They're good guys and everything, and I was telling them my ideas on certain things, and man, they started making some pretty cool content about. They were starting talking crap about Beer 30, and so Beer 30 went to their house and just ransacked them and beat the crap out of them. I mean, and just some cool stuff, man. And so then we turn around, we set up to I have them at our show, and I have them wrestle. Do you remember Tim White?
Yeah.
Okay, so his son Brandon wrestles.
Okay.
And I had Brandon there, and he teamed up with Bitty Little.
Okay.
And it turned into a street fight. That's the only way I was going to do it. And they started doing it, and Bitty went and swung a chair and hit dude in the head, knocked him clean out. And if you watch the match, if I could find it on YouTube, I promise you I will send it to you.
Oh yeah.
Dude stayed sat down in the floor and wrestled the rest of the match in the floor sitting down. He was out of it. And he even took and Biddy like walked by him, and he put Biddy in a shoot leg lock. I don't know if this dude even knew. I don't even know if Christian even knew how to do a shoot leg lock, but he put him in one.
He was probably just grabbing whatever he could.
Yes, and it was bad, dude. And they was like, they started hollering at me to come out there after the match was over with because dude wasn't getting up. And I went out there, I said, "You all right?" And he turned around, he just looked at me, and he's like, "Daddy, did I do okay?" And I'm like, yeah, call the ambulance."
Yeah.
The ambulance come over and get him.
Oh.
He turned around, got to the hospital, got checked in, checked out, and back to the building after the show was over with while we were still in there cleaning. He's like, "Man, I'm sorry I messed that up." I said, "Dude, I don't think you did. I think you went above and beyond." And I sat there and I said, "Well, here's your pay, man. I appreciate y'all." And
Jeez.
dude, it was crazy. He knocked him silly. But
Yeah.
there's like,
We
all right,
we've been lucky so far. Haven't been too crazy like that up here.
Yeah, thank God I hadn't. Knock on wood. So yeah, we started. So just to let you know so wrestling with the locals got started back in 2017, and me and my partner we just been in and out on doing it and stuff like that, and we finally started. We got with Conrad Thompson and started learning yard and stuff like that, and we started doing this because we don't bump as much when we're
There
doing
you go.
podcasts.
A little bit easier on your body.
I had a guy. Then I had a guy from Genesis TV Network.
A little bit easier on your body.
Yes, I don't wrestle no more. I can't do it no more. And the guy that runs Genesis TV Network, he contacted me about us doing podcasts for the app, and man, that's what we've been doing, man. And we're just trying to get people on and help people out, and that's one thing I've been wanting to do with you is get you on here because I don't think very many people know about what's going on in Alaska. There's a little bit of
Yeah,
there.
there's we tell people all the time when we're coming up down there, and my wife will shoot me for saying this, but the only thing we learned about Alaska down there is Eskimos and igloos. And I married one and I live in the other, so what does that tell you? But no, it's kind of nice because it's so new up here. We get to kind of train the crowd as to what we want them to do.
Right.
And I equated a lot to the South crowd, to the Memphis area crowd. They get to see the high spots all week long on TV.
Right.
So they come and see us, and we're telling stories. We're, taking them on those roller coasters, and it's a lot of fun. It really is to see the fans get to do that, and then the wrestlers that we have up here. Most of these guys never in their wildest dreams thought they'd ever be able to do professional wrestling. And so I'm getting to watch them live the dream that I was lucky enough to do 20 years ago, or 25 years ago now, I guess. But, whoo!
God, we're old.
Right? And it's funny. So the guy that Calvin James, our current champion, I had knee surgery back in 2012 and was out for a year. When I came back and started wrestling, he was the guy I had my big local feud with. And he's actually my daughter's godfather.
Oh, wow.
So he's watched my kids grow up. I have to find the photo and send it to you. There's a still shot from a show in 2013 where my son is operating the hard cam, filming me and Calvin wrestle each other. So, and then you fast forward 10 years and they're wrestling each other. So it's really neat, man. I've been really blessed to get to do the stuff that I've been able to do so far.
Well, man, I want to tell you, man, I'm proud of what y'all are doing up there. Y'all are doing it good. Y'all are doing a really good job, and I commend you for taking and I don't know if this is proper for me to say for a show that comes on at 7 o'clock in the mornings on Sundays, but having the balls to take and jump into an arena like that.
Whew.
It's not very many people are going to do it, and y'all had it, and y'all probably pushed them around in wheelbarrows and stuff like that little old cartoon looks like.
Yeah, it was definitely it was definitely an experience.
And guess what? If you don't do it, if you don't do some things, you'll always be learning, wanting to know what if.
That's it. And I tell people, no one will ever be able to say that they ran the first show there.
There you go.
And I'll plug a little props to these guys too. When we were coming up in the business, and I would hope that even still today, part of paying your dues and being part of a show, you work on the ring crew.
Yeah.
These guys, I don't know if you got to see the pictures or anything of the cage that was put together.
No, I didn't.
But so I'll send you a couple. One of my students actually built the cage we use for the main event in the arena.
Oh wow.
This cage stood 10 foot off the apron, and Ty, they literally it took them, I think, 11 minutes from grabbing the cage from the back to when that cage was perfectly built and ready to go.
Wow.
It was absolutely insane. I've worked with ring crews and stuff all over the U.S. I've never seen a group move like these kids do. It's absolutely insane.
Well, man, let's definitely get together, man, and let's work something out, man. Let's get some of these guys on here.
Definitely, yeah. I'll pass it on, let them know, and get them in touch with you. Some of them got some really cool stories. One of the kid that was our second champion actually won the silver medal in the Tokyo Games in amateur wrestling.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've got one of the guy that was our first champion. Used to be a UFC fighter.
Who's this?
His name is Maurice Kid Money Mitchell.
Okay.
He fought a few years back. He did the Contender Series, and I think he had 5 fights for UFC.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it's and then you know how wrestling is, all walks of life.
I wrestle. I had to when I became a police officer, I arrested an MMA fighter, and I looked at him. I said, "Look, please don't hurt me, okay?"
Come along, please. Just come along.
I'll just put him in the front. Just don't hurt me.
That's it.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming on. I'm glad we was able to get to do this, catch up a little bit. It's been forever.
Of course, man. It's always good to talk to you.
Man, let me know when we're streaming, man, because I need to watch. I need to watch.
Definitely. I'll like I said, and check out the YouTube page, man. There's some we just did our first ever Comic-Con a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
That was insane.
Send me all your links and stuff like that, and anytime you get a flyer up, man, we'll be more than happy to post it for you and everything, and help y'all get out there and see if we can't get that crowd go up a little bit more than 650.
Definitely, man. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much.
Man, it's been an honor, man. Thank you for coming on. And if you got anything else you want to say, you want to throw anything else out there?
I will, I appreciate you bringing us on time, catching up with you. Check us out on, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, the YouTube especially. Everything we've done's on there. Check us out, 907 Pro Wrestling. These kids are doing something special up here.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Have a
All right,
good
brother.
day.
Take care, man.
And don't let your day end, okay?
Oh yeah, definitely. I got to go get these kids round up now.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, brother. Later.
Later. Well, that was another edition of Wrestling with Locals. That was JT West. Hadn't seen him forever. It was great getting with him. Tim Davis got a good cheeseburger story. Angel Lopez, I can't believe he said he sucked. I mean, but he did back in the day. I'll agree with you. Now that he's off the line there. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all watching and everything, and we'll see you at the next one. And keep doing the dream or whatever that Biscuit says about pro wrestling alive, and we love y'all.